Yeah, I cannot tell this. I'm not good enough to improve this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to yet another episode of Show Friday. On this week's episode, we are going to talk about this little black snake straight from the darkness of something dark. My name is Robert Bronkhorst. Welcome to Round Dog Serpents. So this beautiful black female ball python is maternally incubated in the 2024 season. You probably knew that because she still is quite small. Anyway, genetically speaking, she is what I think and believe to be a black pastel, black-head GHI, at least. She might be yellow belly as well. That would really makes sense on how clean the belly is, and you can see that the white is creeping up a little bit on the belly. So yellow belly could be in it, but I'm not sure. Also could be Mojave, which would also explain the black combination, right? Because GHI and Mojave producing some really black snakes, and then if you add something to reduce the yellow pattern on the back, you might have this. So maybe Mojave, but we have to breed her out to see if that's true. Could be red gene as well. There's no real way of saying that. And it could also be lesser, but I don't think it is lesser, because lesser would pull away the black coloration. So if she has something from the bell complex, it would be Mojave and not lesser, I think. She also was 66% possible head for hypo. Now she shed tested, and it turns out that this little amazing female is head for hypo. She was for sale originally. I kept back another female from the clutch, something really ridiculously amazing, a visual hypo female. And I thought, well, you know, this snake is almost perfect, you know. There's nothing you can add to it to make it better. At least I cannot. I'm not good enough to improve this. But then I pulled myself together and thought, you know what? I may not be good enough to improve this animal or this combination, but I am good enough to use this combination to improve other combinations. Right, so let's talk features. What can we see on this animal? Well, she's black. Kidding, that's not the whole story. She's not just black. As she ages, she becoming a little bit more brown. As she was a hatchling, she was more black than brown. Now she's more very dark brown and black, almost like Suma, somewhat Suma-like. Also, this stripe on the back of the tail used to be very faint, and now slowly but surely with every shed that stripe is coming back, and that stripe somewhat resembles GHI Mojave. So that makes me suspect more that there is Mojave in here as well. The same striping is also in the neck, starting from the back of the head, creeping all the way, well, a good 10 centimeters into the body. From that point on, it's just, well, almost just a single color. You can see some blotches of a little bit of darker pigment. So I am really curious to see how that develops as she ages. You know, do we get some more pigment? Or some more coloration or some more blotching as she ages, or will she just become something that looks a little bit like a super cinnamon? I am really curious to to see what happens. Also her eyes are those really nice deep blacks with just the faintest, very slight hint of greenish coloration. Greenish. Her eyes are black with a little bit of color. So why decided to keep this animal now that she's proving out to be het for hypo? Well, I really wanted to sell her because I didn't think I was man enough to improve this combination and only put hypo in it, and that would not be good enough, right? And I could not bear the weight of responsibility of trying to improve this animal. So I thought this project will be better off with someone who's capable of doing so. But then I figured, you know what? Those guys, at least I can try. If she wasn't het for hypo or still was het for hypo, then you might just have a black snake with a lot of unknown incomplete dominant traits. And now I have a black snake with a lot of unknown incomplete dominant traits that I can put into hypo, which is much, much better. Also, I could not stop to stare at this female, right? I would find myself going into the snake room, opening up her bin. It will be around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then all of a sudden, my girlfriend would call me saying it's dinner time, only to realize that I have spent around 2 hours looking at this animal. Yeah, I cannot tell that. Okay, I hear you thinking, great, so you're gonna keep this animal. Now what? What are you gonna do? Huh? Why do you think all of a sudden you are man enough to do so? Well, I will tell you why. I am really curious to prove out if she's actually what I think she is. If she is, this was a world first. Not that it really matters anymore, but it's still quite cool, you know? In my humble opinion, as a fanboy of ball pythons. How did I come up with the label, you may ask now? Well, I will tell you how I did that. I looked onto the internet, checked out every combination, put up all the genetics into calculators, nothing came out, no pictures, nothing. So I could not see an animal that looked like this and say, yeah, that's what I made, by somebody else who had no idea what they were making. Posted a picture on the internet, just like I do, saying it is something, just to be used as a reference for other guys who don't know what they are making. Couldn't find that, but what I could find was pictures of GHI black pastel, GHI black hat, black pastel, and so forth on. And nothing, not one of those combinations, also with Mojave in it, could not produce something that looked like this. So the only the only logical explanation of the genetics of this animal, man, really start to articulate better. This is nonsense. Is that she contains all of them. Well, at least 3 of them. I really think she's Mojave as well. I also really think she's yellow belly as well, but only time will tell if we breed out this animal with something simple, so it will be a little bit easy to identify and learn about her hidden genetics that is lurking beneath the surface of this black skin. Yeah. Alright, time. It would be absolutely fantastic if you just tell us what we need to know. As you know, the saying does say, time will tell. Time, could you tell us? Time, could you tell us? I'm not gonna ask you nice again. Tell us, Time. Tell us, Time! Why don't you tell us? Time! I'm sorry. I got carried away. Please tell us. Please tell us. Oh, please tell us, Time. Please tell us. Please tell us. Oh, please tell us. How to improve it? You can't improve this. You silly you. Maybe if you add mahogany to it, right? Breed it to a Suma, make some really awesome dark mahogany stuff, and maybe if you're very, very lucky and carry over this 3 or 4 or 5 genes that is necessary to make this animal in combination with a mahogany, which is quite easy because I have a Suma male, then maybe we can create a much darker version of this. And when she was a baby, if I held her into sunlight outside, you know, when it's not pressing to windows, so outside on a nice and sunny day here in the Netherlands, which are, well, about five days a year or so, I could see some iridescence, which is quite hard to get on a ball python. You really need some really solid blacks to be able to see some iridescence. So if we add a copy of mahogany to this exact combination, maybe we can see some really cool iridescent stuff. And we might do that, but I don't have a Suma that is het for hypo yet. So I think I would much rather use her for really crazy hypo combinations than trying to make something that is, sorry, let me rephrase that, choosing a harder route for something that has already been done, like the black pastel Sumas, which are jet black. If we create something jet black with this genetic makeup, it will be a much harder way of making the exact same thing, so not really worth it. But because she is het for hypo, she will make some awesome GHI black pastel hypo combinations, or GHI blackhead combinations, or super blackhead GHI hypo, name it. I think when she's older, she will be a great replacement for her mother, which turns out not to be a black pewter GHI het for hypo, but turns out to be a lesser GHI pastel het for hypo. She probably will be a great replacement for her, along with her sister. We have a big female over here to the side who really wants to crawl out and say hi. She's a pinstripe het for Desert Coast. She's really pushing. I'm afraid to open the top. I don't want to get tagged in the face. Doesn't feel like getting tagged in the face today. Maybe tomorrow, but I probably won't film it. Well, let's get back. She was for sale. You've all missed your chance, but if you would have picked this animal up when you had the chance and you were sleeping on it, or just not walking by my stand, because I don't think I've put her online. I did put her on Marktplaats, the local selling platform. I don't think I put her on Morph Market. But if you would have bought this animal when she was available, what would you have done with this majestic and mysterious female? What would be your first pairing when she was ready to produce some nice white pearls? Please let me know into the comments below. It would help me out a lot if you do so. I don't think there is much more to say. Well, there is a lot more to say about this animal, but not right now because I don't have the information yet. So I'm going to end this video here. I really hope you enjoyed. I would really like to thank you for your time, and hopefully see you in the next video. Bye.